All right, and welcome back to Shooting the Shindig with your hosts,
Judy and Bobby.
That's right, Harold and Maud here.
My name is Garr.
And I'm Eric.
We host this little show called Shooting the Shindig. I hope you're shooting the shindig too. So Eric has some news for you.
Oh, what's that?
You remember about the frog and
Yeah, so I met this frog the other day.
there was a wedding dress involved.
Well, he was sitting on a railroad track, picking his teeth with a carpet tax, singing Polly Wolly Doodle all day.
Ah, very good.
I just told him fairly well.
Huh. Fairly well, my Doris Day.
That's right. I'm going to Mississippi. I'm going to Louisiana to see my Susanna, I told him.
Oh, Susanna.
Oh, Susanna.
Don't you cry for me. Truer words were never spoken.
Camptown ladies sing this song.
Now I'm puzzled. Do the Camptown ladies sing this song, meaning the song we're singing right now, or doo-dah, doo-dah?
I think they sing
Camptown
doo-dah.
ladies sing this song. Okay, so that would be like a colon, doo-dah, doo-dah.
But I think it's supposed to be taken either way. But I think they're supposed to be singing. It's the Camptown ladies are singing doo-dah.
Wonder what that was all about.
Betting on the ponies.
Send your cards and letters for all the historians who know what Oh Susanna. Now, you can kind of assume the song She'll Be Riding 5 White Horses When She Comes. You know what that's all about.
Oh, yeah.
6 white horses.
Mm-hmm.
Coming around the corner when she comes.
Come around the mountain.
Coming around the mountain when she comes. Where did that come from and what's that about?
I always assumed that was about moving west. And then, like, whatchamacallit, Clementine's about, like, prospecting.
About what now?
Prospecting, right?
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Miner, 49er.
Oh, yeah.
Something in for a mine. A daughter, Clementine.
We've added lots of other lyrics to that melody.
We always do, with the melodies that stick in your head, become part of the popular conscience.
Well, it's a cautionary tale. So earlier, Eric and I, or Eric and me, were talking about some very heavy things.
Oh, yeah.
That now that I'm thinking about it, now that we're turned on and ready to go to tell you what it is, I don't remember what it is.
There were two things we wanted to talk about. One of them was the situation in Palestine, and one was something else. Something related to your or my personal life or something, or our thoughts on things.
Well, simply, people who are prosecuted for being who they are, being what they are, being different, being the them in the them and us.
Mm-hmm.
People that get prosecuted often then have some power and then become the prosecutors themselves.
Yeah, persecution's a hell of a drug.
Persecution, not prosecution. Excuse me.
Well, the people get prosecuted sometimes.
Persecution.
Sometimes hell has the power too.
Now
Speaking
I'm
of nowadays.
because I don't usually make those mistakes, but yes, that's correct.
Well, Donald Trump is getting prosecuted right now,
yes,
and he's
prosecuted.
The
people of Palestine are persecuted.
Yeah.
And I was saying that Palestine, the area,
The Gaza Strip,
is kind of like a gulag.
Yeah.
Walled in and surrounded.
Embargoed and...
Yes, and then taking things away.
Yeah.
And then moving settlers in to their territory.
Yeah, that's in the West Bank, but yeah.
It is the West Bank.
But yeah, exactly. Well, and this is something that Garr and I talk about a lot, because I have strong feelings about that. Garr calls it a gulag, which I think is accurate. I sometimes say open-air prison, or Bantustan, or Indian reservation, but,
Gulag is the one that would stick the most.
I like gulag, yeah.
Doing the persecuting. I almost did it again.
Yeah. Concentration camp.
But it's interesting to see how the world is reacting, because everyone knows the volatility of that situation in that area.
Well, if the world's reacting, then good. It took them long enough. This isn't a new thing.
And people are also very much against persecuting the Palestinians any more than they already have been. And this could be a turning point for the positive.
Yeah.
Everyone avoids eventually when there's peace talks. They get away from the words. You know the words.
What words?
Two-state solution.
Oh, yeah. Well, Israel wants to make it not a two-state solution, make that an impossibility by the settlements.
Correct.
Well, the thing is, people always want a peace, but you can't have a peace without fixing the situation, right? You can't have peace in an apartheid state because apartheid is an act of violence.
You can't continue dysfunctional
Yeah.
in government and think that things are going to work out.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work in anything in life. You can't be dysfunctional.
I want to be clear. Garr and I don't have any animus against the Israelis or anything. You know, I think that
It's not about that.
it's not about that. I think
about
that ethnic
people in
cleansing is
power.
bad. I think that the settlements are bad or whatever, but that's not like an anti-Jew sentiment or whatever, or an anti-Israeli citizen sentiment. It's an anti-government terror sentiment.
Yeah. Make no mistake. Things are not going well for approval rating for Israel among the people of the world. And it's for that reason. And this Hamas attack on Israelis, although it is terrible and it was unexpected, but not unexpected.
The specifics were unexpected. I didn't expect Hamas to do that, but you expect Hamas to do something.
They were coordinated. That's, I guess, best you could say.
Yeah, it's in the worst possible way impressive. Again, I didn't think that, I would have thought that they would have fired off some more feckless rockets. But again, in the same way that we're not condemning Israeli citizens, we're not praising Hamas. Fuck Hamas.
But it's turning out now that people have turned their attention to Israelis' abuse of Palestinians.
Yeah.
Which is actually the way to go because it's a more functional way to go. So, okay, let's take this back a step and see why these people would do this to begin with. And then take it back another step. And it's not hard to see that this would happen.
Again, I'm more cynical than Garr about this. If people's perspectives are changing, then that's great. I'm sure some people's are, of course. That always happens. But if there's a sea change, if there's a paradigm shift here, it's great, but I'll believe it when I see it. None of this is new, other than the specifics of this.
Protests in Israel as well.
Yeah,
and
the young are upset.
Netanyahu is in trouble. His power is in trouble with this because of his promise of always protecting Israelis, and that's his number one top priority while he did things to fuck them.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's charges against him, and he wants to pass a law that says those are not valid.
He's fucking with the courts.
And people saw through that, and that had massive protests. Anyway, people aren't evil.
No.
It's their leaders. And these are all, that's what I was going to say. Make no mistake. This is among a few people against each other.
That's right.
And it involves money and power and politics, and it doesn't matter what side they're on. If you're in politics, you're playing the game.
That's what we were talking about earlier. In addition to being a terrorist organization, Hamas is a political party. They don't care about the Palestinians either. They care about making their whatever.
Yeah.
Staying in power and
when
doing
it's
their
gotten
thing.
to that, it's time for us to look at that and say, that doesn't sound functional.
Then we need to turn the mirror around.
You can tell somebody till you're blue in the face facts who is in the realm of belief of something. And that's what religion bases itself on. Jesus. And here, hang your hat on this. You don't have to think. Let us think for you. It's pretty dumb. It's a dumb way to live your life when you're a biological being. Or actually a spiritual being in a biological body.
Yes.
We're stardust.
That's right. Remember, you are dust, and to dust you shall return. All we are is dust in the wind.
I always thought that song was hokey.
I like it. It is hokey.
I think after that it was over, wasn't it, for Kansas?
Oh, no. They continued making music for a long time after that. It's just not very good stuff. And not stuff that I listened to. They had several more albums after that. Like Uriah Heep and Styx and all those bands.
There's a lot of Uriah Heep albums.
There are.
I've listened to them, and they're very boring.
I like the first 5.
Yeah, they never excited me musically.
I always say Uriah Heep, when they were first starting out, late 60s, early 70s. I think the first album came out in 70. Couldn't decide whether they wanted to be a metal band, a hard rock band, or a prog band. And they did stuff kind of in all those veins.
Yeah.
And then they ended up making the worst choice and becoming a hard rock band.
Yes.
But back when Ken Hensley was writing the songs, you had Mick Box and you had Kerslake. Yeah, I enjoy. Well, I think I've told you before, Gar. It's one of those songs where I listened to it the first time. I was like, I hate this, and then nowadays I don't know what I disliked. I heard Magician's Birthday, and I was like, this is not good, and I don't know what I didn't like about it. I didn't like Low Spark of High Heeled Boys the first time I heard it. I didn't like.
Wait, that's not Uriah Heep.
I know. I'm just mentioning songs that I didn't like. Yeah, no, that's Traffic.
That's Traffic. Yes, yeah. Traffic's different than Uriah Heep.
I know, Gar. I was just listing songs that the first time I heard them, I didn't like them. The first time I heard Lamb, I didn't like that album.
Yes.
Genesis are also not Uriah Heep, for those keeping track.
Eric is an authority on progressive rock music. No, seriously, it comes from what you love, and he loves progressive rock music from
especially early 70s.
70s,
England.
yeah.
Well, I already liked a lot of music from the late 60s, early 70s. That's kind of my favorite era of rock.
Even though he was born in 1990.
That's right. I'm much younger. But by then, a lot of that stuff had become classic. You know, it was, a lot of that stuff is iconic now and was in the 90s.
Yeah.
But the prog rock stuff I didn't start getting into until I was like late teens, early 20s. I already liked some of it. I just didn't approach it as a cohesive genre.
Well, it speaks to your intelligence level that you would seek music that appeals to you rather than being told, here, listen to this. Here's Taylor Swift. Listen, you like this. And that's the way most people are going to be through every time period. That doesn't change. That's why you get knockoffs musically of something. Not as good, but the people don't know the difference.
Taylor Swift's actually really good. I'm not a big Taylor Swift fan, but I appreciate...
Not saying anything about Taylor Swift. No, she has her own thing going on. That's not about her at all. She was the first one that popped out of my head.
Big stars. We were talking about her earlier.
She's on the news too much.
Oh my God, her and Travis Kelce's. You can't watch Chiefs games if she's going to be there because they're just going to keep cutting back to her high-fiving Kelce's mom or whatever.
But I don't want to see that anymore. I'm good with that.
I'm done with that.
Good for a while. I have a picture in my head of it. Like crazy. I have a picture of high-fiving and slap-a-doodle and having a heart-to-heart talk with the dad in the middle of the game.
She was at a game a few weeks ago, and she was there. Your favorite guy, Ryan Reynolds, was there, and they were chatting.
Yes.
The Chiefs and Jets game.
Well,
in New York.
They're hanging out with the director, and there's going to be a movie with Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh, okay.
Which gives those guys a chance to work together, if you know what I mean. And I think somehow Taylor Swift is involved in that or something like that. Oh, she's friends with Ryan Reynolds' wife, who is also known as...
Blake Lively.
That's right. When you Blake, you got to Blake Lively, I always say. So that's how that whole connection works. And then you do it back a little further and you'll find the 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, even though that was decades ago.
Mm-hmm. You can still do it.
That's what I mean. You can still do it like a long family tree.
Yeah. That all started, so people talk about 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. People talk about the Bacon number, which is like how many degrees you are from Kevin Bacon. And most working actors are like 3 or less or whatever, unless you just haven't only been in films with like the same 3 people. And that comes from, there was a mathematician, Paul Erdős, who wrote lots and lots of papers, and he co-authored a lot. And so if you write in the sciences, you're only so many degrees separated from Erdős. So, and then they include people like Natalie Portman have a Bacon Erdős number because they've both written a paper and been in a film. Yeah. Erdős was cool. He was Hungarian and moved to the United States.
For all you Hungarians.
For all you Hungarians out there.
Mamo.
That's right. Gar knows a little bit of Hungarian.
Bocsánat.
Erdős would write proofs or whatever, in mathematics, and would say, when he found a really good one, he would say that, like, God is like a book of proofs or whatever. He has, like, a book of all these proofs. And when he would find a really nice one, he'd be like, that's from the book. Which I love and have applied to other things in my life. I'd be like, if I, like, I dabble in, like, writing and poetry and stuff, and, like, I'll write a poem and it'll be good.
You should hear Eric's poem.
No.
Do one for him now. Sideburns. My girlfriend paid a lot of money for your records. And then there'd be a fist fight in those Elvis movies. Okay. All right. Say one for us now.
Anyway, so if I write a nice one that, like, really just fits and just sort of comes out fully formed, like Gar for You a Song maybe does, I'll be like, oh, that's one from the book.
Yeah. Okay, so he's feeling shy now, but he has poetry that he can call up that he's written that have been featured in many publications. The Erudite Times. The Erudite Times, ladies and gentlemen.
Anyway, continuing on. You were talking about Kevin Bacon number and Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds, yes. Ryan Reynolds is now 1 degree from... Oh, no, he's not, because he has to go through Hugh Jackman. And I don't know if you folks know this, but I have a Hugh Jackman. What's happening? Ooh,
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a load up with rubber bullets on that one again.
Oh,
You've got rubber bullets right there, man.
I got rubber bullets right here.
Load up with rubber bullets.
Roll up.
Bullets, lady. Load up with rubber bullets. Everybody. It wasn't their best work, but it was probably their most known, next to I'm Not in Love. All right, how many of you out there have a Hugh Jackman?
What?
First NCC album. Really cool guitar sounds. Very unique. Did you and me watch the bio on them on YouTube?
We might have.
Yeah. They were basically just goofing around in the studio. I think it was, I don't know, 2 of them owned it or something. So they perfected a sound that when I was, I don't know, like 17, really struck me.
Right.
It was pop, but there was something that was theirs, a feeling like, okay, I would recognize a 10cc song. And they all wrote. But they all seemed very simpatico. Some of my favorite stuff is stuff we were talking about, how you don't like it first.
Yeah.
And 10cc sheet music for me was like the ultimate pop album. And then the one after that was, the one you just heard was from their first album, and I didn't get into that as much. But sheet music, and then the one soundtrack album with I'm Not in Love. And it was different, but different in a really good way. In a good way, like, oh, this band is progressing. Because at first I had to get used to it, even though it sounded like the same band.
Mm-hmm.
Then the one that came out after that was, I think, their last one, called Don't Hang Up. And it's a lot of this kind of long form, these long songs that have different parts. And that appealed to me. But for some reason I had to take to it. But I looked at it like progressive music. You know, you have not just a song, you've got a musical piece, you know.
Yeah.
That was appealing to me, to do that, to jam things together within one entity.
Mm-hmm.
I still do it. You get better at it. You know, at first for me it was just jamming things together. If it fit, it did. If it didn't, we're still doing it, you know. Now it's more about the dance between the parts. McCartney was doing that. Uncle Albert is one of those kind of things. The whole Ram album is like that. Random bits of songs shoved together. And then my favorite, I've yet to get myself the deluxe edition that came out of Red Rose Speedway. Because originally that was supposed to be a double album. It was a flop when it came out. My Love came out of that. That was a hit. But for me, it's all these different parts and stuff, sometimes put together, sometimes not, sometimes just by itself. But not like a finished, like start to finish, from like 2 to 3 minute song with definitive verses and choruses and sometimes bridges. So anyway, 10cc, they came out with the album Don't Hang Up. It's a good time for you to talk about, there's a lot going on in Pennsylvania right now.
Oh, God, I have no idea what's going on in Pennsylvania right now.
Two big things are happening. But tell everybody about Pennsylvania, or Philadelphia specifically.
What about it?
Well, what kind of a place is it?
Philadelphia is great because it's, in my opinion, it's my favorite city in the United States, but it's a place unto itself. Despite being a big city, you know, 6th largest in the country, it's got its own vibe and personality. It's a place unique, but not like too weird. You know what I mean? Like it's rough around the edges. It's got like a character to it. It's got like an ethos or whatever. But like it's a big city, so you can do kind of big city stuff. You know, it's got like a metro. You can get around easily or whatever. There's different like neighborhoods and stuff. Anyway, I always liked it, but it's distinctive. It's unique. I like a city that has a character. I like a city a little bit rough around the edges, maybe a little down on its luck. Although Philly's not down on its luck, but cities like that.
You would live there.
Oh yeah, I'd live there again.
The lyrics are like really funny and sarcastic, dark humor. That appealed to me.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't adopt that more. I do now. Jellyfish did it to a point where it was like, okay, it looks forced, or some of it sounded
At the
forced.
heart of every Buick SUV.
Although I like Jellyfish, so this is when I found out that I loved sheet music as much as he does. I started singing all the songs for him in front of the Erdős Taco House, and then I sang this song, and he didn't know it because it's from this album, and he didn't follow them. That's how I wanted to put songs together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like a whole story like that, you know. Anyway, it turned out this album had a strong influence on me the way sheet music did. But it felt like in a different direction. And it was a direction I wanted to go. The guitar is Eric Stewart. He was in a band in the 60s called the Mindbenders. Then he played with Paul McCartney in the 80s. Girl, I Love You So Bad. Lol Cream and Kevin Godley, I think they're still business partners. Interesting bio on 10cc on YouTube that you can find. Interesting people. Graham Gould wrote lots of hit songs prior to 10cc. Let's look them up, shall we? Where's that? God damn. They sound like Charlton Heston. Well, Charlton Heston. All right. What songs did Graham Gould write prior to 10cc?
I found this on the web.
Goldman. Graham Goldman. Make sure you get it right. Okay, so Graham Goldman.
It's a shame so many women struggle to
Oh, hell, I didn't know it was going to be YouTube.
From 184 to 123.
Get off my TV.
And I know because I was ashamed of my...
Okay. Just give me an answer. Yesterday's... What?
Graham Goldman is best known as a founding member of 70s rock band 10cc. He's been the band's only constant member since 1972. However, he got his start in music in the early to mid-60s. At the time, he was the leader of a band called the Mockingbirds. Oddly enough, none of the singles he released with the Mockingbirds managed to chart. On the other hand, several of the songs that he wrote for other artists became big hits. Here's a selection of songs that he wrote for
Okay,
other
here you go.
artists
You ready? Here we go.
Pretty love. Yardbirds.
Sing it.
Funny love.
Graham Goldman's first hit was For Your Love by the Yardbirds. This is the song that famously
I was big into
prompted
the
Eric
Yardbirds in
Clapton
high school.
to leave the group. Clapton thought the song was too pop and he felt that the band was betraying its blues roots. The song was released by Columbia on the 5th of March 1965 and it became a massive hit. The single reached number 1 in the UK and number 6 in the States. It was also a top 10 hit in several European countries.
See, there you go.
She's been gone such a long time, longer than I can bear.
Heartful of Soul was
Heartful of
another
Soul,
excellent
yeah,
song that
classic.
Graham
Yardbirds.
Goldman wrote for the Yardbirds. This was the first Yardbirds single to feature Jeff Beck on guitar. Heartful of Soul, along with See My Friend by the Kinks, is considered to be the first British pop song to feature Indian influences. Both songs were released several months before Norwegian Wood by the Beatles. The riff of the song was inspired by Indian music, and the Yardbirds manager even hired a sitar and tabla player for a recording session. However, the band felt that the sitar wasn't up front enough and it didn't cut through the mix. So Jeff Beck decided to imitate the sound of a sitar with his guitar and a fuzz pedal. The single reached number 2 in the UK and number 9 in the States.
Evil-hearted you always try to put me down.
Waldman wrote yet another song for the Yardbirds, Evil-Hearted You. This was another excellent song with a melody that almost sounded like the theme tune of one of those so-called spaghetti western movies that were popular at the time.
Hey, you
The
can
song
watch this, yes.
also featured a magnificent slide solo by the late great Jeff Beck. Evil-Hearted You wasn't released as a single in the States, so it didn't chart there. In the UK, however, the song reached number 3.
I don't need to put this on the podcast.
No. Yeah, I don't think we can really have any of this.
No, just
The success
we can
of
pause
those
it.
singles
Yeah.
by the Yardbirds prompted several bands.
Welcome back.
Hi, welcome back to Shooting the Shindig. Eric and Garr here.
It is Eric and Garr. Okay, let's talk about UFOs,
Oh yeah, what about them?
also now known as UAPs.
What does the UAP stand for?
Under all pickles. Think of your own and send the cards and letters in.
That's right. Keep those cards and letters coming.
Unidentified aerial phenomenon. Is
Oh,
what it is.
yes, that's
UAPs.
right.
What did I say?
Yeah, you said UAPs. I just couldn't remember what that stood for. Yep. UFO. In French, they don't say UFO because French. They say ovni. which
You
is
say what now?
ovni. OVNI. Objet volant non identifié.
Wow. That was French.
That was French, everybody. My thing about UFOs and ghosts is that the era of the smartphone has silently done away with both of those phenomena.
Why is it that only grainy footage exists?
Well, it's like what people used to say. It's like, oh, that was a Mitch Hedberg line. It's like, oh, Sasquatch isn't. The photos aren't bad. We're just taking pictures of a grainy guy running around.
It was in the desert, too. They ripped out his forest. Because, like, what do you do when you rip out the forest?
That's right.
Which is what's going on. Eventually, there's going to be some confrontation with a Bigfoot, if there's a Bigfoot.
Well, that's the thing. That would probably just not be a Bigfoot.
And the guy who was in the Bigfoot costume in the famous footage admitted it before he died. That was me in the costume.
Looks like a real life Scooby Doo.
Mhm. Meddling kids.
And the famous Loch Ness monster picture is fake.
Global warming is going to take the Loch Ness monster out.
You know, we should found an organization to protect the Loch Ness monster.
We should. That's a great idea.
Buy lakeside property and around Loch Ness and make it a wildlife sanctuary.
That's a moneymaker.
So yeah, the era of the smartphone has sort of ended the classic, like, oh man, I happened to be stumbling through the woods, and because everyone has a fucking phone, and
Okay,
a flashlight,
so-
and a radio, and a camera in their pocket at all times.
You heard the recent deal like 6 months ago where those people said aliens were walking around their backyard, right?
No, I don't think so, unless you told me.
So Las Vegas, and there's like body cam or from the car police footage of this thing falling from the sky that's green. Then after that, some people who lived in this neighborhood flagged down the police and said there's aliens in our backyard. There's burglars singing in the cellar. And they described what they look like, and it was like 3 or 4 people that were there, and they're telling the police, and the police are already good and scared because they saw the green light come down from the sky, so in their heads, they're thinking, oh, that could happen. So they described it as 7 feet tall, having triangular faces or something, like, the usual stuff, and they were walking around. So in the age of smartphones, wouldn't one of them be near to a cell phone?
That's what I'm saying. The era of the smartphone has done away with spooky ghosties and...
But it was a real story. Like, these people were, oh, no, it's really, yeah, this could be aliens.
Yeah, and Jesus came and talked to my dad one time.
And Elvis is still alive.
That's right. He's hiding out in my basement. He doesn't want to talk to any reporters, though.
There used to be that show with Maury Povich, Current Affair.
Yeah.
And they did a whole segment on Elvis still being alive, and he had slept with some woman, and he'd been living with this woman in a trailer park. And my friend watched the show, and the guy who was asking the woman the questions, he said he sensed sarcasm in the guy saying, why would Elvis want to sleep with you? Kind of a thing. Destroyed all the credibility. So it's all kinds of things you can make up.
Of course.
Well, okay, so I want to know, now the Air Force is all coming forward, and people say it's a daily occurrence. These things are out there all the time. That's what they're saying now. So if they're out there all the time, where are those high-speed
Yeah.
cameras with macro lenses? You'll get
Why they only show up around like people of dubious authenticity living out in some random place who say that somebody saw a thing.
Well, to be fair, that family or whoever they were in Las Vegas in the suburbs.
So then why didn't more people see it?
Right.
Why wasn't everyone being like, "Excuse me, I saw this green light"?
Yeah, wouldn't like the neighbors see a glowing green or something?
Who show up on somebody's like doorbell camera?
You know, and as they interviewed these people, they embellished more and more.
Of course.
I could feel he was talking to me, in my own brain.
Yeah. But see, like, all these things were always that ridiculous. I'm sure sometimes some people do see some weird things, but, like, it's probably something we just don't understand. Bigfoot hanging out being like, "Hey, excuse me, I'm in the jacuzzi."
You saw that recent thing with Bigfoot in the desert, right? Why would Bigfoot, with all that hair, be out in the middle of the desert?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it's just like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, no,
or
no,
something.
I hadn't.
It's on the internet.
I hadn't heard about it.
Recent Bigfoot footage. It like has the same kind of impact as that crazy plaster alien they found.
Oh, yeah. I did see that.
It's like if you, or somebody that's not artistic and you take an art class and they say, okay, we're going to have a clay, this is for your final grade, we're going to make a clay something or other. And they decide, okay, I'm going to make an alien. Oh, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and the teacher says, okay, go for it. Then they pull it out of somewhere and say, hey, I bet we could fool people with this.
Yeah. It's like the faces and the grilled cheeses and Doritos and all that. Oh, yeah, hey, doesn't that look like, whoever? And it's like, yeah, it sure does. Let's, like, put it on eBay.
What does that say about us?
It says that some people are dumb. That can't be surprising.
Well, it's trying to give life some kind of meaning other than, I guess, what's in front of you.
People want to seek out something beyond themselves. That's related to what we're always saying about conspiracy theories. People want to, like, believe some sort of secret knowledge. Like, oh, man, really, Antarctica's a big wall that goes around this entire flat Earth to keep the oceans in. Nobody wants it. That's why you can't go there. It's like, yeah, but look at, like, flight paths between, like, Australia and, like, anywhere else.
Well,
Go ahead.
when life for you is potluck,
Potluck.
barbecues, and changing diapers, you want to believe something bigger than that. There's got to be something more than that. And then you'll either choose religion or UFOs, or what else? What else could you choose to give your life meaning?
That's a really nice, astute, succinct description of just like what it is to be humans. You're going around doing the potluck and that's just like a basic human cultural activity. And you look up at the stars and you're like, isn't there more than just like fucking around being a hunter-gatherer?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And then, so yeah, you invent stories of gods or mythical tall tales, just swapping stories.
It is swapping stories.
That's what we're doing.
It's a human brain, and what we do is we try and create a collective brain, which is all about teams and governments.
Yeah. That's who we are as animals. We work together. We're social.
So we get together and we say, okay, we accept these things, but not these things, because it makes it run better if we do.
I like this, but I hate that.
And you get consensus.
Yes.
Don't want to play by the rules, eh?
So there's something else we wanted to talk about. I don't remember what it was. It was something you said.
Well, we already said something about the UFOs.
Oh, yes.
And boy, did we have something to say.
We showed them.
We did.
We solved it. That's what we do here is we solve problems.
We're taking names and taking addresses.
Taking names and we're kicking ass and we're chewing gum.
That's right. Kicking ass and taking names.
We're all out of ass. Cards and letters.
Yoko Ono
Mm-hmm.
made a film of just people's derrieres.
Mm-hmm. When I was a kid,
Because she's what you call an artist, and she doesn't play by the rules.
certainly not.
That's the idea, anyway. You're supposed to do that.
Sure.
Oh, wow. That artist is so cutting edge.
There's a difference between doing something that's cutting edge and just trying to be cutting edge. You should be pushing boundaries. That's good.
That's what we were talking about with Styx. They seem like that.
Seem like what?
They were the cut rate yes band.
Mm-hmm. They didn't have a dozen good songs in them. But, they tried to be a prog band. They weren't really that good at it. And then they sold out and became and then they had a lot of success with a couple random songs over the years.
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto.
I don't hate that song, and I'm ashamed to say I don't hate that song because it's not.
You
not
should
good.
be ashamed, yes.
Yeah. I like Come Sail Away, and I enjoy Renegade.
That was written by Tommy Shaw, I think.
Sure was.
Oh, no. No, it wasn't.
You always say it's a Shaw song. I don't know.
I don't know if it is.
I haven't checked because I don't care, but I don't keep track of the members of Styx. But I liked about half the songs on that album, and then I liked Renegade, and that's about it. I tried to listen to Styx too, and it's not good.
Not good quality.
They're second out because Grand Illusion is the 4th or 5th album.
I was listening to that when it came out at his apartment.
Mm-hmm.
We had the sex on the couch while Styx was playing, and I guess I exhausted myself because I fell asleep.
Mm-hmm.
She went to the kitchen or something, did something else, and I had fallen asleep on my hands. So I woke up in this wild panic. I'm screaming, I can't feel my hands, I can't feel my hands. I start waving my hands around like a great ape, I say, swinging my arms around back and forth, back and forth. I wanted to get the feeling back, so she had like a hallway and the wall to the next apartment, and I was banging my arms against each wall, back and forth, and the neighbors next door started pounding on the walls. Hey, what are you doing? You know. I don't know if I saw her again after that. I think I did. That was one of my little adventures, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. Talking about your arm, waving your arms around. I often sleep on my stomach or whatever, and sometimes I'll wake up in the middle of the night, not like totally awake, or wake up in the morning, and like my arm will be asleep.
Yeah.
But like when I'm first coming out, like you're describing, my thought is always, oh no, I've broken my arm.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like waving it around. But it happens, this happens like, a couple times a week or something.
Yeah.
So you think but I always wake up and like, oh no, my arm's broken.
You know, it isn't funny because our body wakes us up
Yeah.
when that happens.
And I wake up and then I'm not freaking out. I'm like, my arm's asleep. I do this all the time. What a fucking idiot I am.
Well, I'm more logical with myself with those things now. I don't wave my arms around. And I can reason it out.
Sure.
What does this have to do with UFOs?
I think we were done talking about UFOs.
No, no, we're not, Mr.
Oh, okay. Well, what do you have to say about UFOs?
UFOs are not. Sasquatch are not.
Loch Ness Monster.
Yes,
or not.
or not.
J.B. Cooper.
Yes, there was some story that I did not read about knowing more about D.B. Cooper.
J.B. Cooper, yeah.
Yeah, do you know that? Do you know what they found?
Recently? I don't know. They find something or other every once in a while. There haven't been enough D.B. Cooper movies.
No, not quite enough.
There's been a couple, like, random, like, small budget nonsense ones, but, like, that's a good fucking Hollywood story.
There's not much to tell, though.
Just so you make up the stuff that we don't know.
There's the Howard Hughes.
Yeah.
Supposed Howard Hughes.
You construct a whole D.B. Cooper and then set up for the plane heist nonsense.
D.B. Cooper.
D.B. Cooper.
You have been listening to Shooting the Shindig.
Eric and
Garr.
Hey Garr, where can they find you?
GarrStudios.com. GarRmontalbano.bandcamp.com. Those are good to start.
Yeah. Get your toes wet with the Garr.
Yes.
All right, everybody. Good night. Or whatever.
Or whatever.
Or whatever.
I dig it, I do. I dig it, I do. I really 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 dig you, I do. I really dig you, I do.
Well.
Well.